How's it going, YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you guys with a Prophecy deck profile. It's been absolutely ages since I ended up bringing you guys one of these decks, and that's because Prophecy kind of fell out of favor with me during, I believe, the Abyss Rising era when it was out. Simply because I wasn't a big fan of how the deck played, but now that Cosmo has come out, and Spellbook of the Master has been released, and there's all the Reaper stuff, and there's Spellbook Judgment Day just around the corner. I felt like I would get everything back in for the deck. I was missing a few things like a Priestess. Got it all back in, and now I'm ready for when Judgment Day comes out. I'm ready to spend stupid amounts of money on that. But for now, I thought I'd bring you guys a post-Cosmo Blazer variant, because I know that a lot of you were kind of commenting on the older videos saying, can you please do a Cosmo Blazer version of this deck? So, this is going to be my Cosmo Blazer version. This deck has been built with basically zero testing. This is just literally a theory deck for me at the moment. So changes will happen, but I felt like I'd build this today on my day off so you guys can have a deck profile. And then I'm going to be bringing you guys a Reaper variant shortly after this because I really like Reaper at the moment and I really want to do a Reaper variant. So this is going to be the Priestess variant. So this is the more expensive one, sadly. But I feel that this will probably end up being the best variant, especially when Divine Judgment comes out, because Priestess is just insane. Either way, let's get right into the profile, and I'll talk about a few of the choices. Play 3 Priestess. The 3 Priestess is just a must. You have to play 3 Priestess in the variant, in a variant like this. Otherwise, you can play the Reaper build, but I think this one is far and away the best variant. 3 Priestess is basically your kind of dumbed down Dark Armed Dragon. It's not as good as Dad. People have been saying it's as good as Dark Armed. It's really not. But it's still incredible. It's a 2500 boss monster, and with all the protection in this deck, it's going to be sticking around, and it's going to be killing a card per turn, and it's a 2500 beta, so it's pretty damn good. I definitely really like it, but it's no Dark Armed Dragon. Then we play 3 copies of the Stratos, Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Literally, your purpose of this on turn 1 will be to go Magician of Prophecy, get secrets, activate secrets, get Master, use Master to copy secrets, search Fate or Tower. So now your grave is completely stocked for Fate, and it's stocked for the Tower as well, so you can do lots of versatile plays off of that. I'm playing 1 Temperance. This is kind of subject to change a lot. I play 1, and then I play 2 sometimes. But Temperance is okay. It's really quite good when you have Wisdom in hand, because, you know, you can summon it, your opponent will probably try and kill it, and then you can Wisdom it. And it's also good to have the Wisdom for when you bring out the Priestess, because the Priestess might get bottomless. But it's just really versatile card, and it's really good for getting your Priestesses out of the deck when you cannot find them for the life of you. And there have been some situations where I absolutely cannot find Priestesses. So, I mean, Temperance is good, but I don't feel that 3 is very good. I feel that 3 is very cloggy. I feel that 2 is the max you should play, but 1 is what I'm comfortable with at the moment. Then I'm playing Double Justice. Justice is, in my opinion, better than Temperance, simply because of the amount of setup it gives you. The only issue with Justice is it leaves you basically fieldless for a turn, which is why we play Trags and T-Raws. But it sets you up for basically a +1 by getting you a Priestess and a Spellbook, and everyone knows that just by searching any Spellbook out of the deck, it can put you in such amazing positions, because it can search you the secrets for the next turn plays. So it's just so good. I really wouldn't... Again, I wouldn't play 3 Justice. I think 3 Justice is way too much. But 2 is just perfect. I believe like the best play with this is... well, the most fun play with this is going summon this, power it, attack over something, search off of power, and then end phase tributing this and getting a search. So there is no -1 in that play. There is only pluses. Then I play Double Breaker. I feel that Breaker... I don't play MST in this deck. I feel that Breaker is more versatile than MST, simply because of, again, Breaker can kill any back row, so Breaker is good in that regard. And it is also incredibly protectable and is incredibly versatile with the massive variety of spellbooks you play in this deck. So I'd rather play 2 Breakers and have no MSTs than have less monsters. Because while there are amazing spellbooks in this deck, the spellbooks kind of do nothing on their own. They all need a spellcaster, so you kind of want to maximize the number of spellcasters you're playing. Then I play Double Effect Veiler. This card is way more versatile in the deck than you may think. Again, it is Effect Veiler. Yes, that is good. But also with Spellbook of Life, and this is also where the Breaker comes in, you can get off some really awesome synchro combos by having Veiler and Magician in the graveyard. Getting the Veiler out by banishing the Magician. The Veiler comes out at level 3. You can then synchro it with your Breaker to make a an Arcanite Magician, or you can, you can bring Veiler out at basically any level by banishing certain things from the grave. So it's very, very versatile. Really like that. Then I play double Tragodia for basically protection, and the fact that you always have massive hands, like all the time, because it's all full of spells. So Tragodia is always huge. So Tragodia is a really good choice to play in the deck. Then for the spell traps, I play 1 Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Storm, basically really standard. 1 Soul Taker. This is a tech for me. I had trouble with things like Thunder King, or just really big monsters that the deck just kind of finds itself in a position where it can't get around. And I just felt that Soul Taker was a really good tech just to deal with those. So, like, it'd probably come out for a Wonder Wand if I had Wonder Wands for this deck, but I don't have any. I got rid of them shortly before Star Pack was announced, so I guess that was a good idea. But Soul Taker it's an okay tech, but I'd understand why you guys wouldn't like it. But I felt that it was necessary to deal with problem cards that you just can't get off the board, because sometimes you don't have access to a Fate, etc., etc. Then I play 3 copies of Spellbook of Secrets, the best spellbook in the deck in my opinion, because it can get you any spellbook. So it is the Omnibook. It's so good. I really, really enjoy using 3. There's no reason why you wouldn't. I then play 2 copies of Spellbook of the Master. Again, Master is an incredibly versatile card because it can basically copy any spellbook in the graveyard and use its effect. And also the best thing about Master is it bypasses the rulings on a lot of spellbooks, where the books will say this card cannot be activated more than once per turn. You know, you can't activate 2 Spellbook of Secrets during one turn. The best thing about Spellbook of the Master is Spellbook of the Master activates as Spellbook of the Master and then resolves as another spellbook. So anything that says this cannot be activated more than once per turn, you can just go, okay, Master, and Master will be able to resolve its effect a second time during that turn. So that's a good ruling to remember. Then I play Double Tower. This is something that is kind of falling out of favour for me between 1 and 2. I know in the Spellbook of Judgment variants, 1 is much better than 2, but at the moment I really like 2 for the advantage systems and the fact that if 1 dies, I don't have to go into massive, like, eternity recycling plays to get it back out. So, I really like having 2. I feel that it's the best number until Judgment comes out. I then play Double Fate. This is arguably one of the better cards in the deck. I remember when it came out and Fate was absolutely awful. I thought it was awful. But it's just the fact that it's so versatile and the fact that it can return a set spell trap, change the battle position of a monster, or banish 1 card on your opponent's side of the field. So it's incredibly versatile, and the best thing about it is because of its optional effects, it doesn't target until resolution. So you don't have to declare a target until the chain starts to resolve. So that's a really good ruling to remember with that. Also, cards that say they cannot be targeted are still affected by Fate as far as I'm aware, which is really good. Then we play 2 copies of Spellbook of Life. I consider cutting this to 1. It's been clogging a bit, so I'd consider cutting this to 1, but it's still a really good card. I'm still only playing 2 Wisdom. I think 3 is a little bit of overkill. I know why 3 is really good, and I agree, 3 is very good, but I think the 2 is the perfect number at the moment. Then I play 2 Spellbook of Power, because it's Spellbook of Power, and 1 Spellbook of Eternity to round off the spells, if I can pick them all up. Then for the traps, I'm playing Double Compulse. This is kind of like a player preference. I really like Compulse at the moment. I think it's going to be a really good trap going into the next format. But again, some people might argue against it, and I understand that. But then probably the best trap in the deck will be 3 copies of Threatening Roar, because Threatening Roar sets you up so well. It keeps you safe for a turn. It can keep if your opponent puts a really big monster on the board and tries to kill your Priestess, it can keep your Priestess alive for a turn, so you can banish stuff to then kill that monster and carry on with your plays. It just keeps you safe from OTKs, etc., etc., and it's so chainable. That's the best thing is, I wanted to keep most of the cards that I'd be setting in this deck chainable, because the only spells you set are quick play spells, so they're all chainable, and these are all chainable, so it makes your opponent's MSTs -1s, so I felt that they were the best things to play. That's it for the main deck. Oh Christ, without dropping the extra deck, which I've just done, I will now try and go through the extra deck. Oh, I'm so useless. I will then go through the extra deck and tell you guys what I'm playing in that regard. The extra deck is a bit weird at the moment, simply because I just threw it together for the purposes of this video, because I wanted to record the video and move on to doing my Reaper build, because I'm really excited to build Reaper, because I haven't built it yet. But this is the extra deck that I'll probably be playing for basically both variants, I think. So I play 1 Allied Justice Catastor because you can make it, and Catastor is amazing. I play 1 TG Hyper Librarian because it is a spellcaster. A lot of the stuff in this extra deck is because it's a spellcaster. I play 1 Tempest Magician again because it's a spellcaster and it has a burn effect. So during time, that burn effect comes into its own. 1 Arcanite Magician because Again, it is a spellcaster, and as I said before, you can make incredible plays with this. And it's the fact that when it comes out, it can destroy 2 cards, so why not play Arcanite Magician? We then play 1 Stardust, 1 Thought Ruler, and 1 Scrap Dragon as our level 8s, because they can be made using Priestess and a Veiler, so sometimes that play is necessary, so I liked to keep that a bit toolboxy, so that's why I play the 3. That's for the Synchros. For the Exceeders, I play 1 Shining Elf, which is a devilishly good card in the deck, 1 Gachi Gachi Gentetsu for defensive purposes. I don't like Phoenix in this deck, so I'm not playing it. Play 2 rank 3s in the form of Acid Golem for heavy beat sticking, 1 Zen Mains for heavy stalling. For the 4s, I play 1 Mace Stroke because Mace Stroke is incredibly good in this deck. 1 Utopia because it's Utopia and it's generic. Play 1 Big Eye because 2 Priestesses is really good to make Big Eye. And then I play 1 Hierophant of Prophecy because just sometimes you really just want to heavy storm your opponent's back row when you have your 2 Priestesses out. You can do that. There have been times in testing on Dueling Network where I've wanted this card and I hadn't had it, so I told myself I would play it in the extra deck just in case because it was so good when I would have needed it. But otherwise, yeah guys, this has been a Prophecy deck profile. I'm sorry it's been ages since I did one of these, but the deck just hadn't been performing for me, and I'm really looking forward to bringing you guys a Reaper variant, probably later on today. But otherwise, that's all I've got to talk about at the moment. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and otherwise I will see you guys pretty soon with another deck profile. Peace out. Bye.